who's kind of in front right now? Or we just go kind of stand in line, are we?
You
You are.
think
You
in
spoke
front.
up.
I'm helping the old timer. Like, you see anything up there, lad? Oh,
Oh,
salvation.
Era, Era, and he starts to head down the road. You see him trip on a couple of rocks on the way down.
I'm gonna pull up quickly beside the old timer and stabilize him as we come down the road. I'll be like, well, I'm not very well knocking him out. Come on, the two of you. Just going to follow the old man's lead unless told otherwise.
Tag along as well.
Bolg too.
I'll follow.
You arrive and pass through the first buildings. You see people doing their normal lives, but you start to notice really quickly, no insight check needed, that a few of the elders that are there have a look on their eye that's very reminiscent of the old man you're with. People stop and everyone stares at you, and you start to hear some whispering among them as they kind of look at you as a circus show arriving in town. There is recognition, and a few people seem a little friendly at the sight of the old man you're accompanying, however, and you hear some of the whispers mingling. Who are they? Oh, the poor souls. Is that Eamon? Eamon's back.
If I pick up on the name, I'll be like, Eamon, you're home. This is home, right?
Home. I'm Eamon. Yes. Yes. There's
Aye.
Era. And then, as he says that one last time, a girl kind of starts to rush by, drops a basket of what looks to be fruit and bread, and just rushes over to him and starts to pat the old man and goes, Grandpa, you're okay. And she turns to you, apprehensive for just a second, and pushes through. Then, Warren, you're the closest. She looks at you and goes, Did you bring him home?
I just helped him from tumbling on the road, lass. Two behind me here, the tall dark one and the tall green one, they located him and fought away anything that would get in the way. These two are the heroes.
You have my thanks, all three of you. Thank you so much. I was so worried when we realized I forgot to lock the door last night. He wanders, you see.
We found it was a spell back up the hill here. Another small village. It was not very big. Looked like nobody was there except for him.
Oh, must have been Saltvine. Yes. We try not to go in these places. You never know, especially with the mists that can get really thick, what's gonna pop out of the water. And you see the old man is just like patting his granddaughter, like he's finally having a sense of recognition. Not in a bad way, but then he gives her a nice hug and lets her kind of lead him along. She goes to you, just mention my name, Era Amon. If you go to the inn, you'll get good service. And I'm very sorry.
don't particularly know what you're sorry about, but you're forgiven.
It's not what I've done.
Oh well,
You'll understand soon enough. You've crash landed here, haven't you?
I have, and soon enough, I may figure it out, or I may be dead and gone last before my brain catches up with the likes of your sharp, keen mind.
She gives you a bit of a sad smile with no response as she starts to lead her grandfather to their home. She turns around for just one last. I'm so sorry still, but the inn, the Mariner's Rest, is just that way.
I turn around and look to the two of you. Am I to be the one that talks for the whole group the whole fucking time we're on this godforsaken island?
It's like, can I say, I can never get a word in edgewise with you.
Well, it's hard to get a word in, lad, if you don't try to put the word in.
I say we make our way to the inn and get some rest.
Whoa, whoa. Let's talk to the leader of the company, if we will. Look over to Phelan.
I mean, did we not just rest last night?
I figured that we've been
But-
walking all day with this guy, didn't we?
It's a very good point, Phelan. I took a rest. And Bulk here wants to take another rest. Quite peculiar for a warrior to rest that many times in a day, wouldn't you say?
Oh, it's 10 a.m. Okay. Yeah.
You need a nap?
I guess not. My watch stopped working.
Oh, you got one of those clickers on your wrist there. Yeah, we don't dabble in that. You look up at the sun and it tells you the time of day, lad. You can feel it on the back of your neck as the sun rises. You know what time it is.
I mean, I'm good for like supplies. If you guys are good for supplies, rations. So I mean, we don't
think
have
so.
to stop. We can carry on, get some directions, carry on through.
I don't need nothing except to find the captain's brother or somebody who can fix the godforsaken ship or point me in the direction of another ship. I think the inn is proper way to do it.
Sounds good to me. Should we also inform anybody that we've removed one of the problems by taking out the serpent guy back at the lighthouse?
Lad, if you want to boast about your exploits, you go ahead and sing the mightiest of tales of your good deeds. I could give a shit.
I mean, neither could I, but it might afford us more information.
So can coin. And my understanding is that Bolg here, he's got quite a bit of it. So if you just open up the purse strings and give him all your fanciness, maybe that, maybe one of those wee spears that you carry around.
I do have some extra spears to spare.
Aye, good as coin. See if you can trade for a loosened tongue.
So we make our way to the inn then. Do some trade, ask some questions, maybe do some trade for some questions.
Aye. Now, is all of us going to be going our own way in the inn? You know, spreading out like we're trying to, swoon a maiden of the night, if you will? Or are we going to stick together and work as a unit?
A unit.
I looked at Valen and I say, makes sense he would want to stick together. Can't do a damn thing by himself without taking 4 naps a day. Start walking toward the fucking Mariner's Rest. It's a wee bit foggy here.
Yeah.
You arrive at the Mariner's Rest. It's still, again, the mists are everywhere in town. It's a pretty large building. You have a few people in there. Warren is exploring the outside, but as the two of you step in, you see on the side at the entryway, and it is oddly unsettling, 4 women, young ladies, with long headdresses, dressed very clean, in dress that matched that headdress in pale colors, pale blues. They all turn around, posture straight, their eyes unwavering, and just deadpan stare at you.
These four ladies over here on the right side as we enter. Yeah.
Yes. You might also note they each wear a necklace with an amulet. The symbol familiar.
To all of us?
It looks like a swirl of water. Anyone who wants to can roll in a history check. DC 15.
Ooh. I can. Oh, there we go. Would have been better than mine.
To see who was paying attention. It's Valen who will recognize that symbol being the exact same that was on that big dwarven door at the center of the groove for a key.
Ooh. It's the water temple.
Interesting.
They say nothing. A few of the
And you say they
people-
have
Go
they
ahead.
have headdresses on, like we can't see their faces, or
You can see their faces. They are young. It's think of like the nun type of headdress that is more
Okay.
flowing to their back, nearly touching the floor.
Pardon me. Look at see the owner of this here establishment. Could you point us in the direction? Anybody specific, or just head up to the bar? You have a bar, don't you? And then I looked at the left, like, oh, I see it from here. Oh,
They all lift their chin in your direction but say nothing. The one at the corner here just gracefully lifts a hand and points to the bar at the back. The patrons at tables have all stopped talking and are all staring in your direction. Most of them, more normally, they're not as still as the ladies in the entry. They are leaning towards their neighbors and whispering things to one another as everyone looks at you curiously. You can see a few more ladies at the back, sitting and eating, looking more normal, less tense, less stiff. And behind the counter is a large man, less clean than the rest, washing your usual mug of ale. Empty, of course.
When we walk in, the table that's closest to us, if there's people leaning to each other and whispering, am I able to roll a perception check to see if I can overhear or catch anything?
Absolutely. With a 13, you hear a couple of... Are they dangerous? Should we help or should we chase them? Let's see what happens next. Do they know yet? And that's about the gist of it with a 13.
Roughly, how many people would you say are in this, like, establishment right now? Like, sitting at tables watching us?
Maybe a dozen? Like about 12, 13 people if you count the barkeep.
Okay.
We could take them.
I gotta say, I'm a little put off that the ladies here aren't even saying a word, but maybe they're making a joke of us playing with not talking. I don't think much of it. I make my way around, nodding to anybody who catches my gaze, and I'll walk up to the bartender here.
You nod a lot.
Aye, lad.
Ah, well, a new face. What will it be?
Maybe new to you, but very old to me. My two boys. Hi, over here. Got you a seat saved. Just kind of taking the presence of Warren and not really very subtle or bashful, and just sitting down and being like, yeah, I'm here. And he doesn't really understand or see the problem of what's going on here, other than the girls didn't say anything, which is like, maybe it's just girls. I don't know. Being like, ooh, old man, nasty.
So?
Well, I would like one of your strongest. The one to my right here, and I put a hand on Bulg's shoulder. He'll take a cup of warm milk before he has his nap. And Valen, I have no idea what the fuck you drink, so order for yourself. I'm not your fucking father.
First.
I'll look back at the barkeep and I'll say, I'll get 3 for myself.
The Raiders.
3 warm milks.
It's along that.
Before
And
I serve
when I get-
anyone, are you Raiders or pirates?
We're neither. We're adventurers.
Pardon?
All
Fix
right.
yourself, lad. We're looking for somebody who could fix a boat. You know anybody like that?
They all try at first. And he puts 3 mugs on the table. One of them has milk. 2 of them are ale. And he pushes them forward. That's 9 coppers. Of course, if you want, we have the special right now. Mutton chops. Silver. If you're hungry. It's for the boat. I'm very sorry. You're not leaving. No one does.
Well, agree to disagree, lad. But if you don't know a way to help us find a boat repair person, not a big deal. I will take a few of those mutton chops too for myself, and fill the belly before I keep on my search trying to find who I need to find.
Suit yourself. If you want, you look behind you. And he points to one of the person who then turns away when pointed to. That's George. 10 years ago. Crashed here. His wife now. Andrea. That was 8 years ago. The majority of the people here arrived like you did. They all thought they could leave. And he walks to the back, leaving you there for a second as he goes to get the mutton chops.
I'd like
Not
to
looking
try and
good
do
for us.
a sleight of hand and switch the beer that Warren has and the milk that I have and start drinking his beer.
Do a slay of hand, and Warren is allowed to do a perception check. Because you're all on
I'd
alert.
like to do it at disadvantage because I've actually turned around and I'm looking over at George and Andrea.
If you are not paying attention, I'm going to ask you for your passive instead.
Oh, my passive is quite wee, as it were. Perception passive is 9. The eyes go eventually with age, you know.
Bolg is drinking ale, and you don't notice because you're not looking before you pick your mug.
I'll just reach behind me and grab where it was, and I say, George, is it? You mind if I join you at the table there and we can talk as we are from there to here? I'll take a swig and go, oh, worst ale I've ever had.
I do mind a little. I'm kind of on a date. I don't know. I'm not extremely fond of strangers right now. Most of the times that was a stranger here, we end up having to kill them, and I don't trust you.
Oh, well, lad, I'm terribly sorry for intruding upon your date with the nice lady here. It's a bit extreme, don't you think, to be killing people that you don't know? So how to just, are you bored or something? Why the concern? We come in here for an ale, ask a question, and your guard's up. Concerning.
One of the ladies that is talking at a table behind over here, without looking at you, just chimes in, interjecting, and goes, "We have to protect the rest of the Thessians."
I'm going to lean over to Valen and say, what are they talking about, lad?
Can I guess, do a check to find out if I know anything about that?
Do a religion check.
Religion.
Uh-huh. With a 10, well, the Thessian, the islands of Thess, you're familiar with the goddess Thess? Goddess of the sea? But other than that, you're not sure how it comes to play in context. Obviously, a Thessian is usually a follower of that. Could also be a name of the resident of the island, and there must be a coincidence between the name of the island and the name of the goddess. But that's it.
Yeah, I don't know. It doesn't ring any bells, honestly. I don't know if these are people, worshippers. May need more information.
Well, extracting information is a bit of a specialty of mine. Unless you want to take the lead on this interrogation, Master Bolg.
Who you're interrogating now?
I would never take it away from a specialist. However, I would say that maybe some ale would loosen the tongue.
I mean, if you think so, sure, lad. As soon as I see the bartender come back, and I say, the big one here, he needs another ale to get the muscles loose so he can do his negotiations. Can I have another immediately? Thank you.
All right, and he puts down the mutton chops, which smells really good and looks well done. Not in cooking, but it looks like it's delicious.
I'm going to pick that up with my hand and start eating it.
He puts an ale and looks too. It's like, well, I guess the sea has made you forget your manners, but that's fine. I do have utensils.
Oh,
Alright. Well, if you need anything, ask for Clem. That's me. If you're going to try and interrogate people, I'm gonna have an issue. And he reaches under the bar and puts on a big warhammer on the top. Kind of raises a brow in your direction. I'll take kindly to violence, and I won't have a repeat of Lannis.
I don't know who that is, but I love Warhammers. I got one of my own, and I put my Warhammer on the bar countertop to match his. We are Warhammer brothers. Oh, this is good. We have common ground.
Especially given his hammer is clearly dwarven made. That came from the best dwarven forges.
Aye, lad. The dwarves make the best of any weapon.
It's mine to protect, though, not to destroy.
Aye. We're builders.
Good. Glad
What
that
do
we
you say
see eye to
we-
eye to that. And Lannis is
Aye.
not a person, is a village. Arson, pillaging. That's why it's abandoned. Folks like you once.
That'd have been the village we came across on our way here.
One of you.
So, that brings up a fair point. If I could inquire a slight, just simple question. Who's raiding these villages?
People who crash here.
The what?
Some of the people who've crash landed here. They arrive on the shore, lost their boat, so think they can take what we have. By force. Last one were raiders and pirates. Why'd you think I asked? Wasn't even that long ago.
And by that long, how long?
Maybe 3 weeks.
It seems that you're very, distrusting of us, which I understand that. I do. So, how about this? Could I do anything to earn your trust and the trust of everybody else in here that's listening to this conversation while acting like you're not?
I'm not sure. Don't burn the place. Don't. And he kind of narrows his eyes a little. Don't interrogate people. Talk to them. Eventually, people will see that you're not here for violence, but you can't help that people are a little on their guards at first. I'm just not scared.
Well, I would never burn the place that I drink. But, any chance you got a different kind of ale? This one, isn't really doing anything for me. But I'll finish off the milk all the same and put the mug down.
He just raises a brow at Bolg for a second.
I just smile and just give my head a little like, nah, don't say anything.
He shrugs. Doesn't say anything. Alright. If you need a place to stay, obviously for tonight, when you're done seeing the village. It's 2 silvers, but you have beds. You may want to just visit, talk to people, see what's up. Be respectful. Things are difficult. During that last raid, we lost our leader, Adis. His daughter's taking it rough. Plus, the deterioration's still ongoing. Our elders are all losing their minds. Everyone has a bit of a brain fog now and then. Everyone's a bit on
Has
edge.
anyone stepped up to be the new leader?
I think Aoif, his daughter, is trying to. It's religious here. Everyone's devout of Thess. You want to make sure you get accepted, don't besmirch her. Everyone's hoping that if we're good enough, she'll let us leave.
Seems like Warren's about to say something, but chooses not to.
Be the cause of this mist?
It was always misty here. For centuries, but never like this. At least not in history books. It's been getting worse. Beforehand, the mists protected us from raiders, from invaders, keeping us hidden, making it difficult for them. Now it's starting to feel eerie. Everyone, we're pretty sure, our devoutness, paying our dues to the temples. We left it lying a little. I mean, we're all devout of Thess, but she was never known to be. She's not like the Lords of Dawn or Tyr, the little gods of justice. She's part of nature, wild and demanding. You pay your due, she'll take care of you. You abandon her, you incur her vengeance, and that's... we have to amend it. Perhaps make an offering at the temple if you have anything of value from that ship. That might help.
Clem, is there a lot of villages on this island, or are all of them basically abandoned and raided, and this is the where everybody with at least a clear mind and some compass of morality have gathered? Is there anywhere else where there's a village like this?
Or the last. This is the last bastion, I'm afraid. Saltvine went down long ago. I don't even remember when. And Lannis went 3 weeks ago. Still smoking sometimes. This is what's left.
How often is this place attempted to be raided? Do you have any kind of defense here other than the people that live in it? An actual a guard, if you will, a small army, anything to that effect to defend against an intruder?
He kind of makes a gesture to behind you, to the people in the tavern. He goes, "Behold our army."
I'd raise a glass regardless, and I say, any army is measured by the strength of their hearts. Y'all look mighty, don't they, Borg?
The mightiest.
You didn't sell it, lad. You gotta say it with some heart.
The mightiest.
Hey.
If you've had trouble navigating the mists, it seems like you're settling into more honorable folk. Let me serve you a little something. And he pulls under the counter, and he pulls a big teapot. And takes 3 clay cups. and he serves this greenish tea that has little flakes in it. It's a little pungent as he places it in front of each of you. Clear grass tea. Helps with the eyes. Put hair
Cheers,
on your
Clem.
chest.
I'd knock it back immediately as soon as it hits the table.
If you've ever had a taste of lawn grass, it's like having mushed up lawn grass in your mouth. It's kind of bitter as it goes back. It's not the worst thing, but it's not the best.
I'll shoot it and try and hide any displeasure and thank the kind man.
Does Valen drink it?
I don't think I do. Apologies, I don't drink anything that's green.
But I drink 4 of lad, and I'll take his and down his as well.
I had a brother like that. That's fine. You won't. Well, I guess the pointy ears. You'll live long to our standards, I guess. Maybe not to yours. I'll have something healthy once in a while. And for Bolg and Warren, your vision seems to be a little bit clearer. And for the next 8 hours, any perception check based on sight is done at advantage.
Thanks.
It's like I'm wearing my readers, but I'm not wearing them.
You get double advantage because you drank mine too.
No.
I need advantage with a 9 passive. It's great.
Boo.
So you're able to
yes.
eat your food and continue on. People start to go back to their business. Like, your novelty ebbs off. People just continue their usual conversation. Mainly surrounded, like, you don't need to do a eavesdropping check for conversation that's not done at a whispered. Most of them are just trying to keep some of their loved ones safe. There's talk about establishing a patrol around town to make sure no one wanders off. There is worry of some people who are like, no one's found Eamon yet. And that's about it. So after this, is there anything you guys want to do in the tavern or explore in town?
I think I just want to maybe casually mention to the barkeep about, like, the amulets that the 4 girls were wearing. Like, what's the significance of that?
Tessa's symbol. They're priestesses. Right now, the ones at the entry are there on duty.
It's their job to make people feel uneasy as they come in. Stare at
You
you.
could say that, yeah. They're here to make sure that these two, and he points to the table, don't fall out of line, and to make sure that the ways are held. They're witnesses to any favors and prayers to Thus. But yeah, they are unsettling, even to us.
Speaking of raiders and bandits that were attacking, do they have like a place of operation, or have you already dealt with them? And are there,
We've taken the
you know,
last ones that came by, so they've been out. We toss them back at sea. I don't know where it was, but it would be probably the last crash site.
wouldn't we be the last crash site?
Well, before you, I meant. I forgot the name of the ship. Adis and his daughter were attending to it. She might have more info.
And what do you know of the Leviathan that attacked us? That's what actually kind of drove our ship here.
The what now?
The Leviathan?
Is that
The
another
big,
ship?
the big lizard
Oh,
creature.
the sea monsters.
Yes.
I kind of, when he says like plural, I look at him and I'm like, wait, there's more.
There's all kinds of sea monsters. They usually don't come to the island, though. Yeah, I've heard they can get some of the ship. You're lucky you didn't get the Kraken.
Hell, it may have been the Kraken. He was a big motherfucker.
Everyone has their names for them. Usually they don't come into the mists. The fact that they're starting to is unsettling. I guess I'll make sure to tell the people to tighten the patrols. We need to make sure that our folks don't wander off at night.
Well, lad, look, we gotta be asking some questions around town. We'll take a room for the night. Seems like it'll take about a day to get all the answers we can from here. If you run into trouble, we'll be there to lend you aid. Hopefully prove a bit more that we're friend rather than foe. But I aim to be leaving this island, even if I have to swim. If a kraken comes to me, I'll just punch it in the face, jump on its back, and tell it to take me to the Stone Peaks.
All right. I know I can't convince you. It happens every time. So all I'll say is best of luck.
I don't need luck, lad. I've got the old hammer with me. You respect my god, and I'll respect yours.
He just nods.
Hey. Abouts would we find this Adis? I'd like to talk to her, considering she's about to be the one leading the charge around here. Change my notes.
So you're able to leave, no problem. You have a belly full of good meat. It's helpful for those of you who've eaten. And then you have the rest of town. People still look at you odd when you pass by. Though there are a few that have a softer glance and almost a thankful demeanor as they give you a polite nod as you pass by. And you'll hear them kind of whisper to each other, say to each other as they get by, the nicer ones. It's like, yeah, that's the ones that saved Eamon.
Any sort of villager that I see, I just kind of want to like do a almost non-threatening demeanor, just like walk, smile, wave, nod, type of thing.
I'd like to bolster the exploits of Valen and Bolg and say, not in a loud way, but just kind of a casual, matter-of-factually way as we walk through the town. Be like, I, Valen, Slayer of the Leviathan, Bolg here, rescuer of old-timers, here we come, looking for anyone who can build a ship. Hello, all.
No one takes you on that offer for the building of a ship. But people kind of definitely stop. Some people seem to have recognition again and are doing so. I will say that some of the people who are less polite when they see Bulk politely nod to everyone, seem to soften just a little. It seems that the edge that was around you guys at the beginning is softening. Now, in town, it's mostly residential. You have a few places, and it's not like an actual shop, but you have a few places that sell like basic crops, nothing fancy. There is definitely clear grass that is on sale. You see these big blade of like yellowish green grass there, advertised. And then, as I said, to the one side of the place, you have a little hill that you can see with standing stones in an odd pattern. And then there's the big hut that is circular to one side of the place that is smoking and adding to the mist around it. If anything, the mist's a little thicker in that space. You can't see much of it unless you get close to either side. You can also aim for the back of the village and go into the wilderness or just leave.
Boys, what's the plan here?
I mean, I say we see if we can help the daughter in any sort of way, step up to the plate. If we can offer her support and whatever she needs, maybe she has some kind of mission for us to do in return for some kind of assistance. Maybe finding a boat, finding people.
I don't know why you'd be stepping on your half plate if before you wear it to put a footprint on it, but yeah, I think that's a good idea.
I second that, but I'd also like to inquire about if there's any like blacksmith in town or someone that might be handy with repairing a mirror.
You get a few people in town in the huts that can do basic repairs. So you do find it would be more like a jeweler. And you do find an old woman who has trouble keeping up any kind of conversation. But she has an old set of jeweler's kit. It's a little worn, but seems to work. If you show her your mirror, she goes, I can't repair it. The glass is gone. I could put a new one.
Yeah, I mean, I'm down for a new one if you can.
I say, please do. Vale in the Vein needs his mirror at all times.
Right, well, leave it with me. I'll have it repaired by nightfall.
I'll definitely try to leave the mirror with her. This mirror doesn't like to leave my side. In hopes that it doesn't reappear in my pocket.
Comes in a set with the
This
20
one's
other mirrors that he carries on his
nuttier
person.
than I am. And she takes the mirror, and it stays with her when you leave.
Beautiful.
If you need a fix, lad, we can dunk your face over still water. If you just gotta catch a glimpse.
And how else do you think I keep these good looks?
It's probably age, good hereditary genes, and family. I've heard all kinds of things. You also have that cleaning magic that I'm sure doesn't do any better. As I talk to you with pork chop grease probably in my beard still.
You're able to make your way through the city, having left the mirror behind, and as far as you know, staying behind. You arrive to this circular hut at the edge of town. Busy. some more of those priestesses are outside, though only one seems to guard the door, while a few others are kind of bustling about. You see them bring towels, taking out buckets, bringing back fresh water. They're busy with something. What do you say? What do you do?
I'll just be like, "Excuse me, miss. What are you doing? Why do you need so much water?"
One look of shock on her
I
at your
just
sight, but then she goes, "You can't interrupt the ritual. Iof is ascending."
Sending, you say?
Yes.
Can we watch?
Give me a moment.
Do you need help?
She looks at you. You have knowledge of magic. Your kin. Natural, no?
Yes? Question mark?
It's not going well. It should have been over. You can watch, not intercede right away. Don't inhale too much of the fumes. Especially with the three of you being male, who knows what would happen.
As she says that, I just go and just hold my breath.
As soon as Polk does that, I pat him on the back a few heavy times with my dwarven arm and say, "That's who we're supposed to be talking to, Huffy. That's the one. That's the doctor that's supposed to. We found her. We're gonna get out of here."
And each pat, all you hear from me is,
Can't you keep it in, Volg? It's disgusting.
As we follow, I'll look to Valet and say, "Right, what'd you say about the smoke? Did she say avoid it, breathe it in, don't breathe it in? Wasn't paying attention."
Then try not to breathe it in as much as you can.
The smoke.
The smoke.
Did she say why?
Not at all.
Do we trust her?
I don't trust anyone. Especially here.
Fair. I look to Bolg as he holds his breath and I say, "Could have a friendly competition here, lad. You really think you can hold it longer than an old man can?"
I kind of let my breath out and go, sure.
All right.
You can both do an athletics contest. Or it wouldn't be athletics, it would be constitution.
Just a straight con throw.
Just a straight con throw.
Yeah, let's go with this one.
Oh, damn. Okay. Let's see if you can get a natural 22. Alright. So at first, you guys go in, both of you above 20. So at the beginning, both of you are holding your breath, not an issue. You enter and you find this woman dressed in nothing but undergarment, just writhing on the floor. There's a big basin of burning ambered plants, and there's a thick smoke of a yellowish color that she's inhaling profusely. And you can see she's struggling. She's covered in sweat. Her hair is a mess. And she's trying to enter a kind of trance. She's wearing a band around one of her arm that has a stone and a symbol on it. It is not the symbol of Thess, though she does wear one around her neck. And she is just screaming at this bowl, going, "Goddess, why are you abandoning me?" Valen, I'm going to ask an Arcana check from you.
Mm-hmm.
You gather that the symbol she wears around her arm, whether she knows it or not, is a form of ward. Below a 15, you don't get anything from the smoke. You're not sure. Magical for sure. But other than that, no idea of nature. Are you breathing?
As he looks back, he sees me. My cheeks is just like puffed out, like I'm holding air, and I'm just like wide-eyed at him.
I would say, mm, yes, but trying to shield my face to kind of keep it shallow, if you will. I'm not
Okay.
trying to breathe in a ton.
The effects would be light, but when you turn to look at Bolg, who's holding his breath, his cheeks are a little too big, squirrely even. And as his eyes are large, you can almost see them sparkle a little bit, like a cartoon.
Am I getting high?
Maybe a little. For Warren, you're starting to struggle holding your breath, but you're still holding strong at this point. Do you just continue to watch, or do any of you intervene?
I mean, we were told to not interrupt their ritual, so I abide.
Lad, clearly they're doing it wrong. I think the three of us get in there and we help out. I'm sure we can get her talking to whoever she needs to get this all situated and right. But clearly it's not working. We have to help.
Warren, if you're talking, you're breathing. You're no longer holding your breath. You've given
Yeah,
up
that's
first.
fine.
And anyone who holds their breath for a time, the first one's always a deeper inhale. That's just reflexive. As you're describing this and having this outcome, everyone in the hut around you, including your own hand, keeps changing color.
Oh, it's like 3 centuries ago when I took that shit Monkle hat. Oh, no!
The lady starts to dance, a tribal dance around the fire. I don't understand. It's been 3 days. And as she turns on a spin, she sees the three of you. And she throws herself on her knees on the ground and goes, "Were you sent by her? Please." As you see her eyes open, her pupils are so dilated you don't even see her sclera anymore. There's no white to her eyes. Bolg still holding his breath.
Um, just curious. Can air pass through either the resilient sphere or wall of force? Like, is there a way that I could contain whatever's the smoke is coming out of?
Basic air would. The problem
Okay.
is if it is already on one side, you'll
Fair.
prevent it from displacing, but you may just trap yourself with mist within.
Uh, I mean, aside from vacating the building, I don't know what anything else we could do, or I could do on my end.
She grabs at her hair, looking at you in distress. Help me. I need to connect with the lady to take my father's place. And these visions keep hindering. I'm supposed to enter trance, not see these fake eyes. Just 3 red eyes on top of one another. I need to end them, these false visions.
Did we all hear her saying that?
She's basically yelling.
Seems to me the lady's asking for this to come to an end. Whatever you're doing isn't working. How about we ease up on the smoke over here, eh?
No, the smoke is what keeps the vision away. And Warren, because you said this, roll me an insight check, please. Bo, your lungs are starting to hurt. You're about to lose the ability to hold breath.
Am I able to casually stroll outside, take a couple breaths, and then wolf back in again?
This guy. Let me check one thing real quick.
Guys, hold person on him.
Smoking's bad for you.
Oof. Yeah, you really should help her continue to inhale the smoke so she can succeed her ritual. Maybe she's just not getting enough. You could grab perhaps any of her 4 hands that you alone are seeing to help her back to the fire.
Not a big deal, lass. I know sometimes the last mile's the hardest one. Up you go. And I'll take her by the shoulders a little bit and kind of help her, kind of like a horrible situation if you're helping somebody throw up in the toilet, but just breathing in the smoke directly right to the source.
And for Neff and Brandon, you can also roll a insight check. Though, Bull, as now your breath finally gives, you will have disadvantage because there are little creatures made of smoke dancing in the mist.
Damn.
Valen, I will ask for a reroll. A 10 is enough, but I'll explain later.
Of insight as well.
Mm-hmm. Damn.
Oh.
Okay. Something... The reroll is a different thing, but with a 10, something in your gut feels wrong about what Warren is doing. You can't pinpoint it because it's still just a 10. But with a 24, the description of her fake vision comes back, and you've seen that exact vision in your mirror. The same 3 eyes. If it's a fake vision, how is it in 2 places? How can you see it?
Hmm.
Valen, get your ass over here and stoke this fire. Help the smoke. Come on, lad.
I feel like if I'm feeling something wrong with what he's doing, or Warren's doing, then I think I'd want to do the opposite and try to cease the fire or put out the fire.
It's a normal fire. You could put it out any way you want. Sand, water.
looking around, is there any like buckets of water left over from all the ladies
Yes, there's
doing their?
plenty. Some clean, some not.
I'll get clean water and dump it over the fire to try to stoke or to put it out.
She goes a little nuts as she tries to push Warren off. She's not very strong. She goes, "No, what are you doing? What are you... Now I see it even more." And she just grabs her head in her hand. For most of you, your vision starts to normalize. Bold no longer looks cartoonish to Valen. She no longer has basically like Shiva-esque arms to Warren. And Bold, the colors and the creatures and the smoke are gone. The place ebbs very quickly of this burning herb smoke. But she is in distress as she goes. And I just keep on hearing that voice that says Druce, and that shape and that shadow. It's a challenge that I need to overcome. And at that
Or
point,
kill yourself.
all three of you trying to see into it start to realize that the ritual she was doing was mind control. This wasn't helping her ascend in the way she should be anticipating. Something not right is happening with this.
And just to be clear, like, this was the like priestesses doing, like they're doing this ritual, correct?
That was my question as well.
Yes, but she was part of that as well. She set that up. And from the symbol on this, you are talking to the high priestess of the town.
Would I be able to cast detect magic to kind of delve deeper in what that mind control could have been targeting, or maybe the source of?
Absolutely. If you cast detect magic, do you do it at a ritual?
No, I'll use a spell slot just so I can do it instantly.
Yeah, there's a lot of magic. It's quite potent in the herbs. Her band on her arm also is rich abjuration. And you can see that the two are countering each other, like magnets, but when you turn them on their opposite polarities, on the same polarities where they repel each other. Because it's deep enchantment and illusion interwoven that comes from the grasses. But the stone on her armband was fighting the effect off. A ward. An old ward.
Kind of without thinking, I'll walk up to her, assuming she's standing there, kind of grab her by the wrist and just below or near the stone, and kind of say, "This is your problem. The the herbs or the illusion that you're looking to gain from this is being altered or like opposing is happening,
No, that
or
can't.
warding from this stone."
My father's stone. But that can't be. All of the priestesses who ascend go through this ritual. They have for years. I don't understand. My father did
Well, they
say
all
that
wear fancy
something.
stones like that.
My father did say that. And she grabs her head again. Wait, I remember something. The Wind Widow. And that's where he gave it to me, in Lannis. Our old home. He gave me the stone there. Why couldn't I remember this before? We visited the site of the crash. The raiders were in a ship called the Wind Widow. But on that same day, I was here, praying at the temple. I have two memories of the same day. I don't understand.
With me knowing how to use modify memory, is there a way for me to determine if that has been used on her?
Roll an Arcana check.
Arcana. Oof.
Above a 10, this is not a cast of Modify Memory, but something bigger. You don't understand it. But this isn't a simple spell. This is something very likely that has been slowly and gradually been done for ages. You just don't understand how it works. If it's a person, if it's a thing, if it's the gods.
Yes.
But there is a big conspiracy happening now that you're starting to just pull at the threads of. I want to visit his grave. Will you accompany me? I need a pause to sort this out.
Please lead the way.
As you try to exit, you see 3 of the priestesses kind of bar your way, spear in hand. My lady, you are not done your ritual. You need to complete this. And you just witness as she argues, I need a pause. We have to insist. Go ahead.
We're just taking a walk to clear a head. You know, everybody needs a moment before they regain their motivation. And no offense, but get the fuck out of the way. Nobody stands in the way of a stone beard. If he's wanting to leave a room, lass, I ain't gonna tell you it again.
They all exchange a glance and step out of the way. But you can tell without insight that it is begrudging.
Glad you found your manners. We'll be back shortly when she's ready. Not when you're ready. As you please. High Priestess.
Okay. She leads the way out of the city. You have to help her a lot as she walks. She will make a pit stop outside to, grab some normal clothes. And then just goes back to the road. You passed Saltvine and go to Lannis. You reached a place by mid-afternoon. The roads are still lit, and there's not much of an issue to it. When you arrived in Lannis town, the place is desolated, but she starts to look around. My old home. I don't understand why I can't remember it more clearly. Every ticking hour feels like waking up. Can you explain it?
Almost sounds like you're waking from a dream. And can I kind of, I guess, gleam or tell her the information that I suspect that there was something similar to a mind control happening during the ritual.
Sometime during that walk as well, I'd like to inquire about that stone on her wrist. Just casually. She doesn't want to talk about it. It's fine.
You asked. Sorry, I missed something. Did you ask her directly about the thing around her arm?
Valen wanted to mention about waking up from the dream, but somewhere on the walk, I was just gonna ask her casually about that stone on her wrist.
I don't know much about it. That was my father's. He led the place. He had managed to age without being affected by the brain fog, so people trusted him. The raiders that arrived 3 weeks ago were completely mad, unspeakable, which is probably why we're able to walk in town a little. They just yelled and attacked and burned and raided. This was when she looks around here. I'm not sure what else it is. I don't know where it comes from. I just know he had it. I've been very involved in the priesthood. I think I missed a lot of information. I remember his dying moment. He took it off and told me I had to, and told me to beware, but be kind, because it wasn't their fault, and I don't know what that means.
Yeah, if anybody can solve a mystery, it's Valen the Victorious over here. He'll get to the bottom of whatever magic's going on. Trust him, lass.
If I can, would you allow me to identify the ward on your wrist? It may take a moment, but I can figure out what it's actually doing.
Of course. She lifts her arm and gives you access to it.
All right. That's if I can, because I do see that there's a pearl worth 100 gold on it. I'm not sure how you want to do those.
For these, it's gonna take 100 gold out of your inventory automatically. So I'm gonna play it raw instead of you needing the actual component, because it's a short campaign.
Do I cast it? I'd like to do it as a ritual if I can.
You can still cast it, just there's gonna be a little checkbox that says use spell slot, uncheck it.
Perfect.
If he's going to ritual cast it, during that 10 minutes, I'm going to look over to Bolg and say, "You could stop holding your breath now, lad."
Another thing I win at, Warren.
Good for you, lad. It's good to see a loser get one under his belt. Congratulations.
A loser in life, maybe, but not competitions.
I will end you.
As your spell finally fires, you find that the ward stone that she is wearing around her arm prevents the wearer from becoming charmed. It is something that prevents any levels of charm and mind control, any domination, is the protection that this is offering. This
Kind of
is
relay that to her.
old magic.
Old magic, okay.
Mhm.
So just kind of say this is quite the rare gem you have with you, or ward you have on you. Whoever gave it to you, or the person gave it to you, definitely wanted to protect you.
I see. I think that is what my father wanted of it. He insisted I wear it.
He must have suspected something with the ritual or the religion, the people.
And no offense, lass. Cards on the table. I don't pray to the god you do. Different one. But I do believe that you don't need all that if you're really trying to connect with the one that you believe in. He hears you regardless. Sometimes the thing that's in your way is yourself. Perhaps that bracelet there, maybe you need to follow the thread of what that means and why your father gave it to you. And that may bring you closer to your god, Des.
They save.
Well, he believes that they all have it's a mighty dwarf.
They all have a S.
I believe you. But now we're also here. I recognize this. This was our home.
Oh. We bit run down on those circumstances, but looks cozy enough back in the day, I'm sure.
See, there's a pile of dirt a little higher with stones put on top.
Oh.
She kneels down and puts a hand on some of the stone and lowers her head. Just give me a moment. This is where he's buried. Feel free to look inside. You have my permission, though be wary. Fires came to the place and people attacked. I don't think it's completely burned. We avoided most of it, but there might be some dangers inside.
A full 10 minutes has passed, right? Because the identify must take 10 minutes.
Yes.
Okay, so detect magic's over.
Yep.
I'm gonna take a
Sounds
step in the door.
Okay. You find a place that is a bit mixed between home and shop. Kind of in the sense of people who have like their business in their home on the first floor and sleep on the second. General store-ish type of situation. A lot of supplies. People were bagged. Things were bagged for people in terms of rationing goods. But there's damages where some places of the floors were ripped, revealing stone and cement underneath. Some of the walls in the back are rough, and there's definitely clutter all around the ground.
Does it kind of look like it was ransacked looking for anything specifically? Or is it just kind of like, it just looks like a fucking tip type of thing?
It does not look like it was ransacked in the sense that someone was searching. It looks like people just wantonly threw stuff around, like in a fit of anger or something. You could at any point, if you want to look through the rubbles, roll an investigation. You can just
Well,
generally look
I'm
around.
nosy, so I'll look through the rubble to see any specifics. I kind of like. I'm assuming that she lived here with her father, correct?
Yes.
I mean, maybe I'll aim towards kind of like the book notes side of things, trying to see if there's any notes on the fog or the rituals.
Roll.
Maybe if there is any sort of notes on that dwarven door that we saw. Stuff like that. So just investigation.
Yep. Damn.
Mm.
There it is.
Give me the whole fucking history of the island. Give me fucking.
You find in the books there is some histories. The island is very, very, very old. Predates a time where you might not, depending on how religious Bolg is, you might not even know. Now, once upon a time, the gods lived among the people, walking the material plane freely. But they eventually left beyond a divine gate, like eons ago. And the island predates this. This was the home of Thess. And back in the day, the old temples had commissioned the dwarven populace and their rich craft. Most of it, especially what's underground, is dwarven made. Has a lot of history from that time. You gather that it was a place to protect the favored of Thess. And the history goes on to the coming of a visitor that they couldn't explain. And there's no place that describes this visitor. Several hundreds of years ago. But the priestess herself, before leaving, is said to have locked him up to return the island to peace, for a rebellion was starting. There's talk of the rebellious being unwilling. And then the more it goes, the less clear it becomes. Almost like everything just returned to normal. But then decades later, normal became less and less normal. There's notes in the margins. You see the word starts with a question mark. Are we still influenced in handwriting? And between the pages of the history book, you find two pieces of paper. A map and a letter. I am hoping you are only seeing the letter.
Seeing an appendix with timescale, the voyage.
I have,
Please
rough.
close that. You're not supposed
Okay.
to see that. You're supposed to see the letter, which is being
Closed.
problematic.
That has been closed.
I will copy paste it into the chat instead, given my system is being a little weird. And opening journals it shouldn't. This is what you should see.
earn anything.
So, I'd like. So there's no description of the specific talisman, and she was given. I'm gonna ask her if she knows about any talisman, if it was on his body or if it's been taken.
When you walk back outside, you find her looking. Something seemed to have hit her, and she's digging up her father from the grave. Just bare hands, and as she keeps digging, she's gotten pretty deep, and there's still nothing. Furthermore, you're also seeing this in part of the paper. You have the letter in this map. A little different than the one you've seen.
A little different.
So currently we're pretty much smack bang in the middle of Lannis, or we're in Lannis, right?
Yeah. And
Okay.
as she's digging, she's going, he's not here, he's not here, he was never here. He
I'm
wasn't
gonna ask her
dying.
who told. Did she bury him, or did someone tell her?
No, it's my memories. It's an overlap again. I remember him. I remember him giving me the ward stone. I thought it wasn't his final moment, but now I see him healthy and facing me. He said he was sleeping. I'm not sure who made the mound that I'm remembering. Oh, I didn't do this. My father didn't die here. I'm not even sure he's dead. He was going to take the Raiders' ship. And
I'm gonna
Even
show.
Raiders?
She turns to Warren before you interject. Sorry, and goes, you could find parts for your ship to repair. If you can find that one. Go ahead.
I was just gonna kind of show her the letter. Does she recognize her dad's handwriting? Like, is this his handwriting? Does she remember this letter?
She looks at it. And she reads it before she answers, and you can see her face, like, get scared. I don't think I've seen the letter before. I don't think he had time to hand it. It is his handwriting. Do you think it's true?
It is a possibility. Your dad may still be alive. Is the letter dated at all?
The letter does not have a date.
Hmm.
There's a sound
I'm
in
gonna-
the back that creaks.
Around the back of the house, sorry.
Mm-hmm.
If I peek around this corner, is there any? Do I see anything?
Roll a perception
Okay.
check with advantage because you drank the tea. That will be a contest again. That's a match. I will say you don't see clearly, just enough of a silhouette that somebody was peering around their corner, and you just see enough to know that someone was hiding back as you poked your head out. Someone's definitely there.
Well, if they put their head back, I want to full on sprint to the corner and draw a weapon, not knowing what's behind there.
Okay.
Am I able to do that?
You can sprint. They don't look again. And just like that, we're going to take a moment. We'll roll initiative at the beginning of the next session as you see a bunch of villagers dressed in armor, arranged in certain ways, adorned in Thessian symbols, their eyes completely glassy, as though not fully there, all taking out their weapons. I will allow you, before we end the game, to do one action to the man in front of you, holding a dagger.
As you kind of take off, I yell to you, "Whoa, where are you going?"
Probably has to
Whether or
take a
not
leak,
we-
lad.
I guess instead of taking an action against him, I'm gonna just inform the group. What is it, like 2 seconds I get to like shout?
Yep.
I guess I would shout around the corner, arm yourselves. But I wouldn't really take an action against these guys. Like, what I want to do is kind of unconventional, I guess.
Yeah, don't roll your initiative yet. Like I said, we'll start the next session. Okay. I guess it will keep. Feel free to roll the initiative then, given it's only Valen left. Alright. And then we will start the next session with a bit of a combat, as everyone has tried to ambush you, but were spotted. Well done. Even though there was
Them
no combat
sneaky
this
bastards.
session, you guys have uncovered a lot.
Indeed.
That's some decent amount of 20s right there. Again.
Yes. Though it was 20s and then, low rolls.
Yeah.
Still got a lot of information, and we can officially say that you guys have reached, I'd say even past a little bit, the midway point.
Okay, cool.
Nice. I rolled 20s on what mattered. Beating Yodo in a breath holding competition. And
all that matters.
information.
Right? That's
How does this
funny.
man have a +6 to initiative? I fucking want to know what kind of special shit Naf has in his backpack.
You'll never know what's in my sack, bro.
That came
I got some actually. The one thing that I really like about it is I can switch roles as well. Like, say if you were miles away from combat and I was like up in there, we can switch roles, which is quite nice.
Mhm.
Which I quite like that. I got a lot of good shit on here.
That's very good. And then you have time. Still have access that I put like the post or the screenshots of your character if you need to review it, because we will start in battle during the next session. How you handle the battle is going to be decided then.
Well, if Nath has anything to say about it, he's like, I want to kill them all for the laws.
Actually, I was gonna do something unconventional.
For you?
Switch sides.
I'm gonna throw my javelin right at fucking Yoda. No.
Nath's unconventional will be like, I choose not to fight a combat. Thank you.
I pull out some rations and a seat and watch you guys
I-
fight.
Fucking triple dare your ass to like try to diplomatically tell them to fuck off.
I am here on a peacekeeping mission.